The sand represents the permeable layer. As we pour water over it, you can see that the water will go through. The Play-Doh represents the impermeable layer. It will not allow water to get through, as demonstrated by Jaren. The next layer, the gravel layer, represents the porosity layer, where gravel is yet impermeable, but it can seep through the cracks that are in between each piece of gravel. We are building the lake as we pour water over the gravel. More water is needed. Now we add the felt, which represents the top layer. By the way, the straw represents the aquifer. We put the pencil in to make it balance out more. The black cube represents the factory. And we put the pollution as the pollution spreads throughout the water. We can see the water turn a color palefully blue. As the pollution spreads throughout the water, all the drinking water has been, what must you say, polluted. This represents point source pollution. As we sprinkle the sea salt, that represents non-point source pollution. We cannot track this, but some examples of it are dog waste or animal waste, watershed, an area of the land where all the runoff drains to the same body of water, groundwater, precipitation that soaks into the cracks and pours beneath the Earth's surface, surface water, the top layer of a body of water and the water on the Earth's surface. Source pollution. A single identifiable source of pollution which its origin can be found. Non-point source pollution. Pollution which comes from many sources and is hard to identify. Aquifer. A body of permeable rock that can contain or transmit water. Examples of point source pollution are factories and chemical plants. Examples of non-point source pollution are fertilizers, pesticides, or animal waste. The materials of the watershed. The sand layer represents the permeable layer. The Play-Doh represents the impermeable layer. The gravel represents porosity. The straw represents the aquifer, and the felt the top layer of land. Point source pollution was represented by the food coloring. It can pollute and harm watersheds. Non-point source pollution was shown with the powder mix. It is hard to identify and can pollute watersheds. Human activity usually negatively affects watersheds. It causes pollution to many watersheds and bodies of water. It kills animals and plants who live there. It affects our fresh water by polluting it. It can harm an ecosystem heavily. Pollutant 1 was a single source and could be identified quickly. Pollutant 2 spread across the water. You couldn't tell the origin. You can reduce the amount of fertilizers you used and pick up dog waste from your dog, for example. The pollutants turn the water to a different color, showing the mixture of chemicals and water. A watershed is an area of land that separates waters flowing to different ways, found near bodies of water or rivers. Our project's focus was to create a model of a watershed and show the effects of pollution on it. Human activity can pollute lakes and ponds and can kill marine life. It can also pollute our drinking water.